Hi, welcome to lesson 2. We will now move on to rectangular cardigan or vest. You can make it with the same color, but in our case, we mix plain fabric with matching color polka dot material. Here we selected Georgette chiffon. Pure chiffon will be difficult to handle for beginners. First, we must check the fabric aligned properly. Single fold the fabric, take a ruler with a 90 degrees angle. Lay the ruler on the fabric so that one of its sides lines up with the salvage edge and the other side cross the fabric at a 90 degrees angle. Hold the ruler firmly and draw a line with a chalk. Cut the excess fabric. Follow up by placing the paper pattern on the fabric. Secure with sewing pins and cut accordingly to the paper patterns. The sewing allowance will be included in the patterns. Here we selected Georgette chiffon. It's lightweight, crinkles and sheer, displaying an overall bouncy look, strong absorbance and has rough texture. After finished cutting, use chalk to mark the armhole lines on the fabric. Then we will be cutting the plain blue Georgette chiffon. Single fold the material. Make sure the fabric is in a straight line and use sewing pin to secure the pattern on the fabric. To get a nice roll effect, we must arrange pattern on a vertical material. Cut the fabric following the paper pattern. Again, mark the armhole line with chalk. The final part is cutting both of the sleeves. Single fold both plain and polka dot materials together. Place the paper pattern on top. Secure with sewing pins. Cut both the sleeves out. Polka dot is one of my favorite designs. Now we will start with sewing. French seam technique is the ideal way to sew see-through fabric. Place the wrong side and wrong side together to sew. Secure with sewing pins. Sew 1 cm wide all the way down. After finished, cut away the extra allowance and leave 0.5 cm. Transparent material always prefer to have a fine finishing with French seam. Fold both sides to cover the allowance and top stitch slightly wider than 0.5 cm as shown here. In some sewing machine, they have the measurement guide at the right hand side needle blade. Or another suggestion is stick a tape on the needle blade for guidance. The allowance has been nicely covered. The same French seam technique will be applied on both of the sleeves. Now we continue with the blue sleeve. Sew wrong side to wrong side for both sleeves. Sew 1 cm wide all the way down. After finished, cut away the extra allowance and leave 0.5 cm. Followed by the plain blue sleeve. When come to the wrist, sew slightly outwards. Cut away extra allowance to 0.5 cm. Fold both sides over to cover the allowance. Hold the fabric nicely to cover the allowance. Sew slightly bigger than the allowance. You can also choose to sew both sleeves in polka dot material or plain blue material. Followed by both of the sleeves. Press iron all the joining line nicely and prepare for the next part. You can use a sleeve ironing board if you have one.